So regardless of whether we put a MOSFET in here or a smart AdruStryfe smart controller, we're still going to need to wire our motors up. So they're going to come up to right about here, and then our battery wiring will come up to about here. So let's go ahead and wire our motors up real quick. Okay, so stock Strife motors. We're not going to upgrade these yet. What we are going to do is upgrade the wiring to 18 AWG, and I have approximately 6 inches of AWG wiring here. I get my trusty Adafruit bomb diffuser out here, and so what we're going to do, we're going to want to make the leads to both motors the same length, and I've seen it where they will solder across and then solder into those wires, and I like to do something a little crisscross applesaucey here. So we're going to take what's about 1.5 inches, and we're going to, let's see, we're going to strip here and kind of pulse. We're just going to try and get access to some wire here. We're going to solder that onto one lead, and then we're going to come down here and grab that. And we're going to do the same thing for red, except it's going to be coming across the different side here. So about 1.5 inches. And of course, these aren't terribly precise, but longer is better than shorter. And one thing I've kind of figured out is this insulation will kind of compress on itself, and so we still end up with it right about where it was. And then we're going to make our lives a whole lot easier if we tin our leads here, which is pre-soldering them basically. Got my soldering iron coming up to temperature here. So we're going to apply some solder here. And here. And this is going to help us make that that solder joint. There's already solder on the leads of the motor from the existing wiring. So, okay, try to figure out what's the best view for you guys here. I broke a couple of strands there. You want to try not to break too many, or you're increasing your resistance. Couple's okay. Alright, and with that, like that. So remember from the other video we marked, so this is the forward direction, and so the forward end is going to be positive. And so let's start by just soldering that one up there. So if there's not enough solder on those leads, then you can add some. I'm going to load my tip up here. I kind of think of soldering kind of like painting. You've got to have enough solder on your brush to get your And I'm trying to get both the heat to the tab and to the wire, and since they're both pre-tinned, that flows pretty easily. And give it a second to solidify, and you see we got a pretty good joint there. So we're going to swing this around here. So these motors vibrate a bit, so I wouldn't want to have anything really with high tension on there. That's gonna probably break over time. So I like having a little bit of loop in there, so we've got some spring. And then again, see, I preloaded my tip, bringing the heat in there and getting both those. And if you got heat into both the joint and the wire, then you're going to have much better luck. And that seems like a good joint there. Okay, and so for black, we're going to do just the opposite so that we get the total length of wire will be the same length to each motor, so we don't have to worry any about if we wired both into the one side and then jump it over, then the wires to this side would be longer. That may cause some inequalities over time. Your motor's like even time, even current. And again, see, so let me preload my tip. And again, this is never beautiful, but boy, I can sure feel the heat coming through to my thumb there. This isn't NASA grade wiring, but we're definitely, if we upgrade motors and batteries, we're going to be passing a lot of current, and we'll make sure we're doing the best we can. And the final joint will be right there. I always like using the leaded solder's kind of fallen out of favor with a lot of people, but unless this is going over to Europe, I don't have to worry about the ROS environmental regulations, and it sure makes it easier for the lower temperature makes it easier for prototyping work and rework. So just want to make sure you wash your hands and don't eat your motors. So there is what we've got, and I might trim those up just a little bit, but we are ready for let's see. So one thing I do, so there was a little wire guide here where the wires came through, and I will usually cut this off because our bigger wires are going to make that a little harder, but we're still going to end up coming through. But we are ready for business.